All right, shalom, shalom. First things first, I'm going to give our honor and praise unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rachak, Wadash. We say, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rachak, Wadash. And we give double honors to our apostles and our elders, which are the apostles elders, a great millstone, which feeds us with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. 2024, which is the hope for year of Jacob's trouble. Lord willing, this be the year the Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai redeems the elect. It sets up the kingdom of heaven, which belongs to you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which are spread out through the four corners of the planet Earth by displacements. We're in the time of great things taking place. Beautiful things are happening for the name of Israel, Yashar Allah. You Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are being redeemed. This is just a quick video dealing with this Deacon Hakal video that was put up. The apostle was going into it, and I was just watching it. And, you know, a thought came to my mind, and that, you know, this is how you know that the truth and those that Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is dealing with are not going to be loved. They're not going to be cherished in these times. And when you break it down, these guys have a lot of, authority figure issues. You know, a lot of them they don't want this truth for what it is. They want to try to make it for what they want, you know, and it's a lot of time it's ego. Especially dealing with the grape doctrine, all right? Because that's the main thing that they talk about, that we want to touch on little girls, and, you know, we're going off. But the scriptures clearly, because we've been in America in slavery, that's why the Lord said you must become born again. You must have that new mentality. You know, you can't marry your emotions and the shit that Esau plunged into your mind and then tied in with the scriptures. That it's not going to work. It's not going to fit. You're going to get emotional because the devil has raised you. We've been under the devil's vibration for a long time. You know, that's why Esau don't have Jake in the field no more. He don't have him in hardcore, and what does it say, chattel slavery. Why is that? Because they have been, the chains have been internalized. That's why Jake does the things in the projects and the barrios. They kill each other. They're doing Esau's work. You know, they go to work. They do the jobs. They don't really want to do businesses to further their communities. And if Jake gets money, they buy dumb shit. You know, they floss out. They don't really help their community. And not no community-wise, because that goes into Baal Barif. But the main thing is that Jake doesn't do anything for their people when it comes to somebody being wealthy. Even you see all these high, mighty people in the world today, which are Israelites. They don't really do nothing for their community, or they don't do much for their people, which, you know, that's the curses. Okay, the curses, especially you see in these other countries, you see those puppets that are set up, that they're not there to further any kind of benefit of that nation. They're just there to do the bidding of the elites. So the main point is that you cannot marry your emotions and the doctrine that Esau has fed you and corrupted your mind, and then marry with the scriptures, because nature tells you, all right, when a woman goes into that time, that's why they don't have a menstrual prior to that. You know, they're not able to conceive. All right. So, but they won't say when, say a young man deals with an older woman, you know, that's in this world, you look, oh shit, you know, he's winning. But the same point is that you see it all happening all the time with these women dealing with men in high school and middle school. Okay, it's happening, you know, and especially it's Edomites that are doing that. You got a lot of some Latin tribes that are doing it. But I'm going to play this part of the video. There's just this quick part, and then Lord willing, I'm going to go into some precepts to show that, you know, it's a blessing for what these guys are doing, you know, because when starting with the apostles and elders is just pushing the word, pushing this truth, and to seal the hopeful elect, or to help seal the elect through giving them the word, because it says faith cometh by hearing. So you have to hear it. It says this gospel shall be preached into the four corners of the earth, then the end shall come. So that has been accomplished, all right? But now we're in a time of analyzing, going through and working on ourselves and preparing ourselves for the wedding to come. But you got these guys that are still trying to be emotional and look towards us like we're, you know, the worst thing moving. But that's neither here nor there. Let's play this clip, and then let's get into some precepts.
That statement, no matter how many tomatoes get thrown at me, I'm going to give an example. Do we need GMS? even though they teach that.
And then if you look at, do you need, when you go into the breakdowns, where those breakdowns come from, where he pushing the Hebrew, the true Hebrew, come from. All right, One West, and then you have those that stem out of One West. But when it comes to consistency, you shall tell, what does it say, a tree by its fruit. The fruits of, starting with the apostles and elders, are constantly doing the work, edifying, being given more knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the scriptures. That's knowledge right there. That's the fruits of that tree. But you look at these other guys, they changed. The apostles and elders have not changed their doctrine. They haven't moved around. They haven't moved the goalpost. You know, they have, but you see all these other groups are changing it up. They're tying themselves in with outside sources. You know, this new controversy with ISU, or no, Salakia. What is that with Nate and joining with the NOI? All right, that's bugged out, man. You know, like the elder said, that there's something funny going on. So with this doctrine of who we need, who we don't need, it's who the Lord needs, man, and who the Lord wants. We don't have say in what Yahbashim Yahushua, this is his story, his plan. All right, but we are designed to be hated in these last days because that's a glorification. Because prophecy has to be fulfilled. So let's go ahead and play this.
It's okay, or let me make sure I'm not slandering, even though they teach that it's lawful for a grown ass man to take a little girl after she hits puberty.
That's not a little girl. That's a young woman. Okay, that's a young woman, because nature is showing you the menstrual cycle. That she's no longer a adolescent. She's a woman. Okay, like, and even Apostle says it in the video, is that a father would be, that's what men were over their house. Jake don't understand that being in Babylon and you don't have control over your house. Okay, I go back to our grandfathers, our fathers, great grandfathers. They didn't have control if they were in the landmass of America. They didn't even, their children could have been sold right from under them, and they have no power. But this law was in place because a man would have to be over his household. He'd have to know what he'd have to know the state of his house. Okay, so if your wife is telling you that your daughter is at that time, you would have to prepare her prior to that. That's why it says promised. So if a man did not take care of his business and pretty much took his time, that would be in danger of your daughter being taken without your consent, because you haven't promised her. That's why it says if she's not promised, betrothed. Okay, so that's where that comes into play. But Jake hasn't had no control over damn near their bodies, nonetheless a whole household. And your woman already knows that, you know, you don't have power. So that's not something that, you know, the family structure has been shattered. What to say, the nucleus family has been shattered. But a woman or a man would be over his house to promise his daughter that way, that situation wouldn't happen. It's not us, because they don't hate us. They hate the scriptures, because that's what we're breaking down. The scriptures tell you once that time comes, and that's why even she would be under that defilement. If a woman is on her time of the month, she's not supposed to be around, because where she sits at will defile. Okay.
Well, she's not a little girl no more. After she hits puberty, she's a woman.
Just said it.
And it's up to the father, you know, because she can hit puberty.
So the main point there is that you got to be over your household. But they hate us for these things. And all we're doing is pushing the truth and the understanding and getting out of that Western mentality. This is the East. This was the ancient world. This was when we were in our somewhat, we had control over what went on in our household. Now we don't have that. Okay, we don't have that control over our household. So let's go ahead and play this. Let's go ahead and read some of these scriptures just to prove the point, because the Lord told us that these things would be happening in these times, that we would be hated, we would not be liked, you know, and that's the condition of the battle. We don't worry about if they like us or not, because we're in the time where Yahbashim Yahushua needs to be exalted and magnified in this world, and his words and all of his words, and don't pull no punches. That's why the scripture said, don't take away or add unto the words of the Lord. And it's not us and our emotions. We don't, if it's clearly there, when I heard it, I ain't had no problem with it. It clearly made sense. And it made you understand that a man must be over his house. And if you lacking, you're gonna pay for it in an emotional way. Because now your daughter's to go to a man you didn't approve of, and that you've lost something that was in your household. But that's why that dowry was in place. Okay. And it says, this is Matthew 10:22. It says, and ye, let's go up 1. It says, and brother shall deliver up brother to death. In the time we're coming into now, where you're going to see in that MOTB, there's going to be a lot of shakeups. There's going to be a lot of people being emotional. People telling on, no, he ain't got the mark. Okay, so those things will be taking place. And it says, and brother shall deliver up brother to death, and the father the child, and the children shall rise up against their parents and cause them to be put to death. See, it says, and you, the disciples, okay, ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. See, but he that endureth to the end shall be saved. So if it's all supposed to be love and hugs and just another day at the good old highways and byways, and prophets is not a glorious job. It is a glorious job, but at the same time, it comes with some down points, because it says they hate him that rebuketh in the gate. And these are rebukes. That's what Yahushua was, a rebuker. What do you think he was in the temple doing? What do you think he whipped the money changers? And then his cousin John was a rebuker too. The rebuking got John his life taken, okay? Because he hit a sore spot with the Herodians, and that cost him everything. But it was all set up in the spirit. See, and it says, but when they persecute you, okay, so let's look up what that word persecute is. Dioko, what is that? Yeah, dioko. It says what? To make, run, to flee, put to flight, drive away, run swiftly in order to catch a person or a thing, to run after, to press on, figuratively of one who is a race runner, swiftly reach the goal, pursue in any way, which whatever, to harass, trouble. See? This is persecute, to be mistreated, suffer persecution on accounts of something. See? So that's what you see. We're suffering persecution for the scripture's sake, by telling them this is what went down in the ancient world. Just like now, you can't put a sodomite to flight. You're gonna go somewhere, man. All right? You're gonna be demonized. So that's the same thing you have with the understanding of that situation. Okay? Because when it came up, there was a law for that. Okay? And it says, but when they persecute you in this city, flee ye into another. For verily I say unto you, you shall not have gone over the cities of Israel till the Son of Man be come. Okay, so the main point is that we're going to be hated by all men, because they don't hate us. They hate the power that sent us. And we're just trying to teach them to show this is the situation that happened. And you see the guy that started that whole thing with Polite, you see what happened to him. That should have put fear in these guys not to even talk like that, because the Lord dealt with that man according to his own folly. That's showing you that was a surgical strike for all of us to see. Okay, Polite shot up the Bible. He talked. He tried to put the gangsters on us, and sick gangsters. And what happened to them? What happened to that? Nothing panned out with that. All right, because the Lord was with it. The Lord gave that understanding, but it says offenses must come. So the guys that get offended, that's the Lord putting a stumbling block, man. So you don't get this truth and you don't get the understanding, ergo, you be saved, man. Okay? It says, the fear of man bringeth a snare, but whoso putteth his trust in the Lord shall be safe. So we trust the Lord that understanding is right. We're not trusting in, we got to be politically correct. We got to make sure we look good for everybody. Damn these people, man. They don't give a fuck about themselves, nonetheless about us. So why even put your energy to it? You can't please Jake. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Yahushua had spiritual power, and they still wanted to put him to death. They did put him to death. They persecuted. They hated him. They didn't believe him. And he had power. He had actual abilities that transcend the understanding of men, and raising men from the dead, giving people their sight back, their ability to walk. All these things that Yahushua did, and they still had something to say. So what we're not greater than our master, and we ain't even doing spiritual acts yet. But when those things come, you're gonna have Jake that's gonna be talking shit, man. Okay? It says fear. It says whoso is Salakia. It says the fear of man bringeth a snare, but whoso putteth his trust in the Lord shall be safe. Many seek the ruler's favor, but every man's judgment cometh from the Lord. See, many seek the ruler's favor, but every man's judgment cometh from the Lord. So people seek that to please people and to, oh yeah, we politically correct. You see with the whole IUIC, they got to be, everything got to look polished and good and stand up. And look at John. John the Baptist was rough and tough, man. He wasn't there to please people. That's why he told those Pharisees and wicked Sadducees and Pharisees, who warned you to flee from the wrath to come. He wasn't trying to get everybody, man. It says an unjust man is an abomination to the just, and he that is upright in the way is an abomination to the wicked. So those that are, especially you got wickedness among our people, they look at us like we off. And all we doing is we're just pushing the gospel and pushing the good news and telling Jake what the scriptures say, what it entails. That's why it says teachers, okay, stewards that lead you into the right understanding. That's a stumbling block. David said it himself. He said, let their table become a snare, right? A trap. A snare is a trap. Some traps are holding you till you're killed, or a trap kills you instantly. That's what's happening now. They're trapped. They're locked in that mindset until the time of judgment comes, where if they don't believe and convert and repent, they're going to be caught up. So that's where we're at now. We're in a time of, oh, yeah, the Bible's not an easy, open thing. So they should consider, hey, maybe we don't have it right. Maybe they have it, but they don't consider that. It's their way or the highway. Okay, it says, an unjust man is an abomination to the just, and he that is upright in the way is abomination to the wicked. Now let's look up what that word upright means. Yashar or Yawashar. Let me see. Yep, upright, correct, right, straight, Yashar. It says right, pleasing, correct, straightforward, upright, lift, fitting up, upright, righteous. Okay. Let me see here. I'm seeing if there's anything else on here. No, that's it on that. So let's get this other precept real quick. Let's jump to Isaiah. Oh, no, let's get John. Salakia. This is John 7:7. And it says, the world cannot hate you, but me it hateth, because I testify of it, that the works thereof are evil. Okay. But the same thing, they'll say, oh, we are, pushing some wayward way. But then on top of that, you see all the adultery that goes on, all the other wickedness, all the changing up of the doctrines. Those things are smiled upon. But when you push the right way, they don't want to accept it. Okay. It says, go ye up unto this feast. I go not up yet unto this feast, for my time is not yet fulfilled. Salakia, not yet full come. All right. So Yahushua knew what was getting ready to take place. All right. But he's telling us and made us aware that, guess what? They're going to hate you. They're going to separate you from their company. They're not going to like you. And that's what he told us. He said, I will pray for you. And that's where we're still on the prayers now from Yahushua. That's giving us the strength to maintain, man. Okay, this is Isaiah 66:5. It says, hear the word of the Lord, ye that tremble at his word. Your brethren that hated you, that cast you out from my name's sake, said, let the Lord be glorified, but he shall appear to your joy, and they shall be ashamed. So that's what we're waiting on. That's going to be the solidifying moment when Yahushua is sent on the earth. to redeem the elect and to judge the earth for the wickedness that is done and continue to do. That's what we're gonna see who's right or who's wrong. All right. That's why we're investing in and believing in the words, and we're holding on to the hope of salvation. It says, the voice of noise from the city, a voice from the temple, a voice of the Lord that rendereth recompense to his enemies. So some are enemies of the Lord, man, enemies of the cross. Okay. So we're just pushing this word. And if those that want to believe it, they believe it. Those that don't, they don't have, it's on them. But the main thing is that we are trying to get ourselves right and tighten ourselves up as best as we can in the times to come. This is Luke 6:22. It says, blessed are ye when men shall hate you and when they shall separate you from their company. And that's what they separate. They said we're the worst camp. And you know what I'm saying? All we do is push the word, catch hell, go to work, pay bills. You ain't doing nothing prolific. We're patient. That's why it says we're in purgatory right now till the Lord redeems us and we start living again, man. All right. And then we're brought into that new covenant, which is going to be placed into our inward parts. That way we don't break the law anymore. It says, blessed are ye when men shall hate you and when they shall separate you from their company and shall reproach you and cast you out. And so I could cast out your name as evil. Oh, he started laughing like it's just some, you know, like it's just the worst thing. Oh, you know, it's not a joke, man. It's not a joke. Jake still has that old man of that gang banging type mentality of also us. No, we're doing it for truth's sake. The words of the Lord must come out, and it must come out without no emotions attached to it. All right, because the Lord knows, just like he told us, a dietary law. The dietary law was, now we know what happens when you just eat what the hell ever you want. Look at the obesity rate. Look at the drop in testosterone. Look at the look at all the fuckery that goes on here, man. Especially now with the women having all these powers, man. All right, this is full. It says full of labor, annoyance, hardships, pressed, harassed by laborers, bringing toils, perils of the full of perils, Christian faith, steadfastness, causing pain and trouble, bad nature, okay, a physical sense. So evil, okay? They calling us bad, man. Well, all we doing is pushing the word, but that's neither here nor there. And it says, for the Son of Man's sake. And that's what the Lord has came and gave us his doctrine of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to give us what? A flashlight in the darkness. All right. And understand and give us a way of how we moved when we were in our land and had power and the law was implemented. That's all that breakdown is. But that's the Lord putting a stumbling block for guys not to come to the full understanding. You know, that's the scary part, man. All right, so I'm going to leave it there. I just had to bring that out real quick. I was listening to the Apostle, and I found it interesting that that's how, they're still trying to push that narrative and those evil things. But that's the condition of the battle, man. So Lord willing, this is that final lesson. I'm going to leave it there. With that, I say, call halal Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahushai, Ba'Hashem, Chakwadash. Until next time, I say shalom, and more than ever, keep faith. Shalom.